Yeah.
I need your help when I'm announcing over there.
Yeah.
Just find the girl.
And click on them?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then they're all. So I'll just probably go right now. It should be numbered.
Okay.
Last will be Reagan Heelan.
Should be last, so just go straight across. Okay.
Jeff wants to get it'll be like number 3. Just here, like the 3, just put your name. Leave it on, we're on now.
Now, Mr. Nushu, would you mind keeping stats for one team? I keep one for the other?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, okay. Because, yeah, that's the set right there. So, yeah,
Do you want this home or away?
It's touchscreen.
Oh, it's touch? Okay.
So yeah, when I say Holdrege. First
Cool.
one, like number 1.
Okay.
Touch your name.
Awesome.
would you mind doing Holdrege?
No, it's Holdrege?
Yeah.
Yeah, no problem. Yep.
Let's say might have had that starter sheet back.
Yeah, I thought I. Oh, they have Kearney one? Or?
Yes.
I'm gonna do the same thing right here. Was Meredith Christian starting or just give us a
yes,
name?
he was starting.
Okay. Let's give this a shot, huh? This will be alright.
Do you want me to read out the starter sheet, Holdrege, or do you want to?
It's all yours. Oh, yeah, we're gonna put it in the screen, yeah.
There we go.
All right. Okay. Girls soccer? No, there's another one that says soccer. Just click ahead on that one. Okay. After I do the announcements, after I do all the girls, we'll let them rate.
Huh?
Stand the camera on them now.
Yep, put on the camera.
Yeah. Because there's no. I didn't put a flag on the girls. All right, we're about ready to go.
Hello, everyone, and you are looking live at the Kearney High School Stadium, where tonight it is a matchup between the home Kearney High School Bearcats and the visiting Holdrege Dusters. Hello, I'm your host, Jeff Ekstrom, along with my partner, Robert Mishu, and cameraman, Cannon Rath, and we are excited to bring you some girls' soccer action here at the new Kearney High School. So, Robert, how's it feel to be on the mic for the first time?
Yeah, you know, Jeff, I'm pretty excited. I've not done this part of soccer before. I've coached for 23 years. I played in high school. I've watched my kids play for years. My first time trying this. I think it's going to be a lot of fun.
Yes, it will indeed. Now let's get you the starters. First, we'll start with the Bearcats. First, we have at the defensive mid is number 1, Whitney Straka. Then at defense is number 3, Avery Collison. At 4, number 5, Alexis Mishu. Number 6, a defender, Cindy Whaler. Number 9, a defense, Jordan Coates. Number 10, a midfielder, Allie Trout. Number 11, a forward, Rihanna Bennett. Number 12, a midfielder, number 12, Hannah Harding. And a forward, number 14, Lexi Levine. At defender, number 19, Lauren Strubing. And in goal for the Bearcats is number 00, Reagan Heelan. Now, then they will run a 4-3-3. Now let's get you starters for Holdrege. Starting first is the sophomore, number 2, Cassidy Newth. Then starting number 3, a senior, Jacqueline Schrock. Then also a senior, number 4, Rebecca Schultz. Then number 5, a junior, Christina Dishman. Then number 6, senior, Hallie Hickson. Then number 8, a junior, Madison Hamlin. Then number 9, a senior, Caroline Rich. A junior, number 10, Paula Alvarado. Also, we got a senior, number 12, Claire Nelson. Then number 17, a sophomore, Meredith Christensen. And finally is a junior, number 28, Justine Johnson. Now coming into this match, the Bearcats at 5-4, game over 500, and Holdrege coming in with the record 4-3. We'll take a short break with the national anthem, come back with the start of Kearney and Holdrege. We welcome you back live here to Kearney High. We are about set for kickoff between the Bearcats and the Dusters. Now, as we look at the past history, has not fared well for Holdrege. As we go back to the stats, last match, the first matchup that we have is 2011, and ever since then, they played every year since, and Kearney is 4-1 since 2011 against the Dusters, and they have a plus 14 scoring differential in the last two matches. So Holdrege has not done very well against Kearney as of late. And of course, Kearney coming off the GNAT Conference Tournament over this past weekend, finishing 5th as they beat Lexington and Gering, and they lost actually in the first round to Columbus, then beat Lexington and Gering to finish 5th. So, Robert, what did you see, especially that Bearcats kind of did well in the GNAT Conference Tournament last weekend?
That opening match against Columbus was a tough draw for them. They played really well, had a couple chances to score, held Columbus out of the net very, very easily, and it came down to a shootout. And anytime that happens, strange things, strange bounces, good shots, a keeper save here or there. And 4-4 after the first shootout, and then went to the extra shooters. That's even tougher. And Kearney came up a little short there. Had two great games after that, though. They learned from that first game against Columbus that you've got to put it in the net when you have a chance to. They did that against those last two games, so it ended up being a positive, 2-1 weekend for them.
And so, as the first possession of this soccer game, and it's going to be the Bearcats who have the control. Now, as I looked at stats before, the intriguing one was that all 5 victories they have this season has been when they have scored first. So it seems like the Bearcats really, they get a lot of confidence themselves right after scoring that first goal.
For sure, and that's part of soccer. Anytime you get the first goal, you have a huge advantage. It puts the other team back. It changes what they have to do. They have to push more, and I think it lets the scoring team relax. We've got one. We can run our offense. We can emphasize the defense a little bit, protect a little more. And that's true of every level of soccer, I think. You always want that first goal.
An early chance by Alexis Mishu, just put away by the goaltender for Holdrege, and now the Bearcats trying to push on the offensive here in the attacking third. And so the Bearcats, they're running a 4-3-3 as like Holdrege.
Right.
And earlier in the season, they've struggled to score goals. They tried a couple other formations, the 4-2-3-1 and the 4-4-2. But I think they've really found their game here in this 4-4-3.
I agree. And talking to Coach Anderson the last couple games, the 4-3-3 was absolutely an automatic shift to get more offense. The 4-2-3-1 is a little more of a defensive posture, especially if you hold those two defensive mids pretty tight. It takes your scoring away, and they had some young girls up top. I think what she want to do is get her speed. Coach Anderson, I learned from her. I was her assistant for 10 years, and she really builds defense first. So she had Alexis Mishu playing in back as center back for that speed factor, and it worked great. We weren't giving up any goals, but it also took that speed from up top. So she switched that around the last couple of games. She put Alexis back up top, and then you see that speed there now and creating more opportunities.
Now, when you mentioned Alexis, she's coming off injury.
Yep.
Came to the GNAC tournament, scored 3 goals in that, I think, in fact. What did you see from her that really changed the aspect?
Fortunately, it's a hand injury. Right here.
And we got an opportunity for Holdrege, a nice save by Heelan.
Nice. Very nice. Came up for line nicely there.
On the attack there was Jacqueline Schrock for Holdrege. So good opportunity for the Dusters early on, but not being able to capitalize.
Caught the defense a little high there and had a through ball. But keeper came off nicely. Got down low pretty quick. It wasn't an easy save, but she made it look pretty easy, which is what you want your keepers to do.
So a couple good opportunities for both teams here early on. None be able to get in the back of the net as we see the Bearcats taking the offensive here. As we see Lexi Levine. She's really been a de facto player for the Bearcats early on in the season. She's a young freshman, and she could score those goals. Here's a good opportunity. A shot is blocked. The Bearcats trying to regain possession. It's giving me Levine.
So you can see there, Jeff, that 4-3-3, if you run it effectively, they got down the field pretty quickly. Ball from the outside to the mid and back outside again with Lexi Levine taking that outside run on the right-hand side, wide open. Created half a chance. We won't call it a full chance yet. We'll call it half a chance.
As the Bearcats still having most of the early possession. So does the 4-3-3 really have – so I know it's meant for more offense, but does it have more to do with more possession as well?
It does a little bit, yeah, especially when, like right here, number 6 kind of takes that midfield spot, that outside, and takes all that away. It really adds a lot of pressure on the defense because she's hard to account for. We have a chance right there. You really depend on those outsiders spreading out when you have the ball. They stay compact on defense, and when you get possession, they widen out. If you don't widen out, then you don't really gain anything from it.
Centering pass was stopped by the Duster goalkeeper, but here comes the Bearcats on the offensive again. Levine is giving me on the near sideline attacking, and here's Mishu.
The ball.
She centers it for Levine, and still with possession here, making a couple nice moves out back out for Trout, but pushed away. When here's Straka with a shot, and that's a good save by the Duster goalkeeper. She'll kick away. So the Bearcats have had the majority of the opportunities here so far.
Right there you saw an example of what we're talking about, those midfielders pushing up right there with Straka playing up pretty high there and getting that offensive pressure. Something else you'll see is that center striker who is Mishu right now, you'll see her go left to right. Sometimes when you don't have that 4-3-3, they kind of get stagnant up there with that one striker up high. You can train them to check back, but it's harder to do for some strikers. With that 4-3-3, she'll be going from dang near sideline to sideline, opening up that space.
And so Holdrege, again, they're running a 3-3-3 as well. What have you seen defensively from them so far?
Staying really compact, and that's what you do. If you're coming to a game and you think the other team has an advantage, a little stronger, a little more skilled, you want to keep that back four really compact, and the 3 in the middle. You can see, they got the one up high, but they're not widening out nearly as much. They want to protect that middle third of the field. Pretty typical, and you can do that with a 4-3-3. It takes some of your attack away, but it also makes it a little safer.
So the Bearcats look trying to get something going here at the midfield. We got Levine here at the 50-yard line.
Nice overlap there.
We got Allie Trout trying to keep it in, and then she can't. Actually, excuse me. That was number 6, Sydney Wheeler. She could not. Another freshman I noticed on this roster is that Kearney really has a young team, losing a lot of seniors from last year's state
very
tournament
much so.
team.
Yeah, and that's another hard adjustment. I think that's part of the issues this year. They've played well this year, but there's a lot of learning to do. It's hard to lose, and they've had 2 years of losing some really, really good seniors.
And what I've noticed from their losses is that they have a combined record of 30-8, including a couple of top 10 teams in Norfolk and
Lincoln Southwest.
Southwest, we got Middle and North.
North, right. Both boys and girls, Kearney High teams, we play some tough teams. And that's absolutely by design. We want to play with the best teams that we can in the state and prove that we can do it and pick up some good wins, some tough losses sometimes too. But I think overall it makes us a better program on both sides.
That schedule out to get tougher with Kearney joining the Heartlands Athletic Conference.
It probably will. You're right. I'm kind of looking forward to having a couple new teams to play with Fremont and Lincoln Pius. But the Lincoln schools are tough. Norfolk stays with us. That's always a tough game.
I believe both games against Norfolk were really close. I think girls, happened in a shootout, if I'm not mistaken.
Gave up an early goal 10 minutes in the game, and they couldn't get one back, so that was 1-0. And the boys did go to a shootout. And we wanted a shootout, it's always close. I think the trip has something to do with it, they struggle and they come down this far south, and we struggle and we go that far north.
A chance for Levine, but Straka overshot the pass, and so Holdrege have a goal kick. As we see early, Lexi Levine really getting there at the ball and getting some early opportunities.
She does a great job of using her speed. She's very quick on the outside.
Goal kick for Holdrege. And Field's going to be intercepted by Straka off her thigh and rebounded back for Levine on the near sideline. She's going to try to use her speed again. She does. She's going to center it to Trout, but goes across the field instead. And now here's Trout, who's going to have it on the far sideline. She gets by defender. She's going to center it, but
corner kick
off a duster. So corner coming.
One thing you saw Jeff do, Lexi, right there in the last little play, is that she checked back. She's playing that forward, but she checks back, 10 or 15 yards, receive that pass in midfield, then she can turn. She can get across. She can turn. She can try to beat her defender. If she stays high, you take that out completely. You want to use all that space that they give you there, and sometimes you got to create your own. That's what she's doing with that check back right there.
As he's Strubing with the corner kick, but nothing going here for the Bearcats. Opportunity. Still brewing here. A shot is blocked again. A couple shots were blocked there by the duster. So I think Bearcats have Holdrege on their heels right now. Using their speed and athleticism to really push the offense, using that 4-3-3 formation to their advantage.
Took advantage of that corner kick. Strubing coming up on the left side there, defender. If you can add that to your offensive game, your outside backs coming up, very, very potent weapon. She get a good shot off there. I hope she'll get another one.
As the Bearcats will still have possession here. We are about 10 minutes into the first half. Both teams having good opportunities, but Kearney having a majority of them. They've had about 2 or 3, while Holdrege have had about 1. That one opportunity being a nice save by the goaltender Heelan for Kearney.
Right now, Kearney's doing a nice job of controlling the ball. They have the lion's share of the possession. Usually when that happens, you'll create some chances. Try to limit the other team's possession, especially in the midfield, and get yours going forward.
Collison headers it forward for Straka. She's going to try to get something going. Gets by. Has a nice bounce to her advantage. Now up the field, Mishu's going to get up the field for England. She's going to try to center a pass. The shot is blocked. That was a good opportunity right there.
Exactly what I'm talking about there, Jeff. Right there we're talking about the target forward checks back. Alexis Mishu checked back. And they made their run the outside, opened that lane up right there, created a chance.
Now Whitney Straka, she's going to play it in, but Dusters will break that up. She's going to attack again, get in deep to Ringland, and here's a chance, but she's going to try to center it for Mishu, but now to Bennett, she's going to shoot it. It's blocked. Trout with a rebound chance, but wide of the goal.
It's a really nice block on the far side by Christensen from Holdrege there. Pretty open shot right there. So on 2 consecutive plays, we had the target forward checking back and creating that space and offering opportunities for other people. With that 4-2-3-1 we were talking about earlier, that's really important to do, and the 4-3-3 is just as important. And you have a little more attack to go with. You have somebody to give the ball to, as opposed to being caught high by yourself and depending on those midfielders to run up.
Now, as we look at the substitutions, you've known Coach Anderson for a long time. What is she, from what you've seen so far this year, what kind of rotation does she like? She
rotates quite a bit. It's just a philosophy that you have. If you have players that can do it, you use them as much as possible. Keep players fresh. Right now, there's no tactical adjustment right here at all. It's just to keep some players lasting a little longer. If you've got those subs that can come in and do that, you absolutely do that. Some years you don't have that. Some years you don't have people on the bench that can do that for you.
That's Michigan far side and tries to get it in. Here's a chance, but unlucky bounce. But here come the Bearcats trying to keep it alive, as that was Sydney Wheeler again. Trying for something. Nothing going. We got a little under 28 minutes left here in this first half of play. Tied at goose egg, 0 apiece.
It's not unusual for soccer, Jeff. Not unusual at all.
Used to basketball here where we got about 13 minutes in. We got about 20 points apiece for each team. Yeah. Would be entertaining, though, if it was about 20 goals each. Right? So, at this point.
If you're talking to a goalie coach and a defensive coach, then they're not that happy about that.
And now up the field is Jacqueline Schrock for Holdrege. She's going to try to get it in deep. They do, but and now here comes Kristen Dishman. It's blocked. Good defense there by Kearney. Defense a little exposed there, but be able to get back in time for a block shot.
Wheeler came across nicely and cleaned that up after the offensive player from Holdrege beat our center back. She kind of played a little sweeper there a little bit. She's an outside defender, or outside defender. She kind of came and swept across and got that. That's good team play right there.
It's a throw in for the Bearcats, trying to get the first goal of this game. As we're still tied at 0. 14 minutes into this half. As Dishman's going to look to get something away, but good pressure there by Straka. And that was
something else you'll see in the system, Jeff. They'll try, those midfielders try to put immediate pressure to stop that attack right there, because it's a really quick turnaround for them. If they play back too much, you're kind of defeating the purpose of that system right there.
And I've really been impressed so far is by Whitney Straka. She's been flying around the ball here, creating wonderful opportunities for teammates.
Yeah, she's playing a great center mid right now.
As the Dusters just not be able to get much done offensively. They've had one opportunity, and that was near the beginning of the game, but that's been about it.
With any system you play on the soccer field, you want to keep that spine really, really strong. That's what we call it on the boys' side. We want to have that target forward, the 2 center mids, the defensive mid, and the center backs as strong as possible. It's usually where we put our strongest players. You need the outside ones coming in. They have to support there, but you don't want to let a team go through the middle. You want to push them outside and have them use the space outside the goal box, outside the goal, so nothing strange happens. And Whitley's doing a really nice job of doing that right now.
As Madeline Holden tries to get in for Bennett. She's got to pass away. It's blocked, but it's back out for Holden. Gives it to Straka here in the attacking third. Wants to play it up.
Holdrege defender's playing a pretty high line right here, trying to keep us out of the box. It's a good strategy. You got to be a little careful with it. A time run, and then they're behind you, and then you're one-on-one with the keeper.
Ooh, Straka right between the legs of a Duster defender. We get a couple O's here from the small rowdy section we got here for Kearney.
I say that about the Holdrege defense, and now they're holding back. now they're dropping back a bit here and giving some room to our offense.
Here's Bennett on the far sideline. The way the Bearcats are playing, it's just a matter of time before one comes in.
Yeah,
one goes in.
I agree completely. They're getting a lot of room out there, and Holdrege letting them make some passes around the offensive third there.
Just the midfield has been completely controlled by Kearney as of late, and that's probably the most important position in the field, you want control.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, soccer, like every other game, has some nuances. If you can control the middle, you always have an advantage. Sometimes you can control it the whole game, but you can't get a real good shot off, and the opponent can just kind of settle and play some defense. It's a frustrating thing about soccer, but you can be not as good and definitely hold even with the team for 80 minutes if you want to. It's my own personal frustration. I don't like that Nebraska high school soccer doesn't have ties. It's part of the game. Everything has to be ended, which I get. It makes it easier for wild card points, but to me a tie is a legitimate game of soccer.
Here's after Ringland centers it for Mishu, and here's a chance, and it's out wide here by the Duster defender, so
really nice,
throw-in.
Really nice cross there by Ringland. Came off Alexis a little too hard there. Ball was kind of fizzed in there. Yeah, those are hard to control, but the opportunity was there.
Now, if they did decide, NSA decided to implement ties, I don't think it would be too difficult to really put wildcard points. Just set a typical amount of points in a
Agree completely.
deal.
There's a way to do it. There are many states that do that. Nebraska is like one of 12 or 13 states that play spring soccer. Most play fall soccer. But if you look at records from other states, just teams, records and stuff, most states have ties. You'd have to do something create a system where it's 3 points for a win, 1 for a tie, none for a loss, like professional leagues do. I think there's a way to do it. It'd be tougher on the wild card for sure, and the wild card's really important, the way we have our system structured. But I think it's an important part of the game.
Madeline Holden, here's a corner. Bennett's going to try to get a rebound, and it goes high and wide.
It was a good attempt by Bennett on the backside there in the corner.
Now, I have a feeling that the reason there isn't fall soccer is the aspect of football here in Nebraska.
I think your reasoning is absolutely correct, yes. But I'm thinking other states survive it. They have football programs as well. And it probably comes down to numbers as well. Other states, you just plain don't have more high school students, more athletes playing. They can probably field that.
I'd say probably in some states, our Class A, the biggest class in Nebraska, is probably one.
For sure. It would not be.
More smaller.
Yeah. It would not be Class A for sure. Nice ball to the outside there.
Here's Ringland with opportunity. He's going to center for Mishu. He's going to take a shot.
And it's in.
And it scores. Alexis Mishu with a goal, and it's 1-0 Kearney.
Goal by Alexis Mishu.
She did not hit that shot great, Jeff, but we're going to give her the goal because it passed the goal line of the keeper. She actually stepped on the ball, got herself righted, and took a shot a little bit off her back foot. You saw it go in the air a little bit, not a lot of power, but well placed, and that's part of it too.
Now she had looked like she had a little bit of a hesitation. Was that aspect she was just getting ready to kick it, or was it kind of to fool out the goaltender there?
I think it was her balance. Because she stepped in that ball, I think she lost her balance a little bit, but it got enough on it to get the shot off and get the goal. But again, you mentioned earlier, Jeff, the build-up right there. They had that build-up again, coming from the outside in, pushing those midfielders up, getting that ball to the outside, and then that cross in. That is the strength of the system right here.
So goal by sophomore Alexis Mishu here with 21 and a half minutes to go here in this first half.
I know
that's about the 19th minute.
That makes Coach Anderson happy, making that switch, moving her from center back to back up top 3 games ago, and multiple goals now in 3 games in a row. That's what she was looking for when she made that change. Sometimes change is hard in soccer, and Coach Anderson, I know, is really hesitant to change stuff. She does a great job of planning and scheming and getting things set and coaching her team up, and making those changes really tough sometimes. I know she's agonized a bit over the start and some of the changes she's had to make. But like all good coaches, you make those changes, you go with it and see how it works. You got to give it a chance, an opportunity to work itself out.
And it certainly worked in their favor that time, as it's 1-0 in the favor of Kearney in their second ever home game at the new Kearney High. They won their home opener here last Tuesday against Lexington 5-0.
Really nice run by Strubing on the outside there, coming from her defensive back position.
And here's a chance, centering pass again, score! I believe that's Mishu again.
Goal by number 5, sophomore Alexis Mishu.
Jeff, I'm quickly learning that sometimes we're prophetic up here. Just a few minutes ago, I said Strubin taking that space on the outside from her outside defensive back position is a great idea. Holdrege giving you that space. You put the defensive back up. She has all the room in the world. She makes a cross. Alexis gets a one-time into the net there. Really, really nice play.
2-0, goal in a matter of about a minute. So Alexis Mishu, both goals Does that count? That's about, I think, 5 in the last 3 games.
I think you're right. And we just talked about that spine. Almost every team is going to make the center as strong as possible. If you can exploit the outsides.
Now here's a chance and a nice save there by Heelan.
Good shot, good save right there. Those saves up top, those are tough ones. Shooter helped out a little bit by going near post. Kind of the philosophy is if you're going high, you go far post. If you're going low, you go near post. So you kind of mix it up a little bit, try to confuse the keeper. Did a nice job getting her hands on it, tipping over the post.
And it will be a corner kick. That'll be Haley Hickson for the corner for Holdrege. And here it is. And that's good defending there by the Bearcats as they're going to try to clear it. As Ringland's going to try to get it on. A shot is just going to go wide, and a goal kick coming for Kearney. What did you see there about Holdrege? What did they want to develop there from that corner?
You know, right now I think they're looking for anything, to develop anything right there. I would guess that when they have an opportunity to shoot, they're going to take a shot. It was a good shot. It's a good decision to shoot there. She's a little far out, but you're just trying to create some offense any way you can right now. When you go down 2 in just a couple minutes like that, you don't panic. You never want to panic out here, but you want to get something going as quickly as possible. And you can see they've kind of gone down the outside twice right here.
Here's an opportunity center pass. That's just not good communication there as Collison's going to break it up for the Bearcats. And now here they come on a counterattack. Ellie Trout, a nice move. She's going to bring into the attacking third. Tries to play it into Ringland, but it's broken up.
Thought she could have taken the ball a little further there. You want to take the space the team gives you. If they back off 20 yards, you take 20 yards.
Ringland on the run forward, and it's going to go out.
A little too strong at corner or goal kick. Sometimes you get an open field and you're not sure. Do I pass? You pass so much in practice. You have people on the ball, and that space opens up. I think sometimes you hesitate, not sure what to do with it. You're not supposed to have that much space in soccer.
Okay, here by Holdrege. They're going to bring it up. They got here in the midfield, but it's going to be stolen away nicely there by Hannah Hardy. Now back down for Holden. She's going to play it in, tries to get to Ringland, but right back to her.
See City do the same thing that Lauren did on the left side just a few minutes ago, taking that space out there by a defender and then
Mishu, nice move.
Corner kick.
She played it in there, tried to center pass, looking maybe for Ringland there. But hit out for a corner, and you'll see, I would think, Lauren Strubing. Yep, there she goes. She's going to take the corner for the Bearcats.
And the way the two teams run their system, that's a big difference, is our outside backs, Kearney outside backs are pushing way high, and getting that ball, winning that ball, and then getting the ball in. The Holders are kind of holding theirs back right now.
Here's a corner, and it's going to go just wide.
Nice header attempt by Hardy there. It always looks so easy when those balls are flying in there from the corner to head it in. It's not that easy. As coaches, sometimes we get frustrated because it's just sitting right there. How can you not hit that in the goal? But it's pretty tough to do. Now, I'm speaking from a goalie perspective. I played goalie in school, and I didn't want those to go in, but it's not easy to do.
It'll be the day when I see a bicycle kick off a corner.
You let me do. If you do, you get a copy of that. I'd like to see that. They look really pretty, don't they?
Yeah. See the Bearcats here on the attacking zone once again, as Holdrege has had maybe about 2 opportunities to score, just not being able to get anything done. Thrown here, it's going to be a Mishu. Going to take the possession. She'll play back for Bennett. She's going to try to play it in deep. Look for Ringland. She's going to get it, pass back, and it's going to be broken up. Mishu tried to play it, but
Holdrege defense did a really nice job of collapsing on that one. Sometimes all you could do is just make it busy in there. They got that pass. They didn't side touch. Those touches inside the 6 are really tough. It's hard to get through the defender, especially when they collapse 3 on the ball like that.
In for Holdrege, number 6, Haley Hickson, and number 20, Chloe Kerwin. In for the Bearcats, number 8,
couple substitutions.
And number 11,
is Carrie Strubing coming in as Rihanna Bennett does as well.
You know, the 2-goal lead, you feel a little more like you sub a little freely, bring those girls back in. Maybe I think Strubing's their first time in. Is that right? The younger Strubing?
I think it's their second time.
Second time, okay. Let those other ones rest a little bit now, and they'll be fresh here in a few minutes.
And if we see the Bearcats get a couple more goals, get up there lead-wise, maybe try a different formation just to try things out in preparation for the game again Thursday against Grand Island.
Yeah, sure. You'll probably stick with your formation, but you'll definitely get some girls in there because Thursday's not that far away.
Yeah.
There are actually 4 games this week. They play tonight and then Thursday, and then we have 2 on Saturday. It's a pretty busy time, so you want to get rest whenever you can. The soccer season is very compact. You start with 3 weeks of practice, but once the game starts, you are flying, and it's over before you know it. So you try your best to prevent injuries, get kids rested whenever possible, get in the training room whenever possible. Talk to our fantastic trainers here. That's a good hold-up play right there.
Issues get played in deep for Bennett. She's out wide. She's going to center one across, and it's going to be headed out. Played out in front. Mishu has a chance for it, and it's going to be broken up and back out.
Holdrege got away with a mistake right there.
Yeah, Straka's going to play it about 30 yards out. It's going to play it in deep. Here's a shot. It's going to go wide. Good
decision to shoot there. Just need a little better execution on it. Pushing up to the middle there where the space was again.
And so, with a little under 14 minutes to go in the half, it's 2-0, Kearney.
Very nice.
Gotta get my soccer vocab in there.
You have to get the lingo down.
Here's a goal kick. You go to Jacqueline Schrock. She's going to play it up ahead at the midfield. Broken up, though. And it'll be Mishu with the possession. Tries to play it deep for Bennett. That's a good pass. Now Bennett's going to take a shot. It's blocked. And now Holder to try to play it. Kind of a missed shot there.
Talking about formations here, Jeff. I think Kearney will stick with their 4-3-3. Wouldn't be a bad idea for Holdrege to. I'm just noticing the size difference from Schrock and our defender out there, Wheeler. They go to 2 strikers and put pressure on our lack of size there and add another midfielder. They might get more control in the middle. You might give up a little attack, but you're not getting any possession to get attack anyway. If they can get control of that midfield, maybe they can cause something to happen up top.
As Heelan's going to play it for Bennett here at the midfield. That'll be Straka. She's going to look for Bennett. That's a good pass. Bennett makes a good move. Gets up to Mishu here on the near side. Ooh, that's a nice move. Mishu, makes another one.
You know where she learned that stuff from, don't you, Jeff?
Yeah.
Her brothers, not me, her brothers.
As here's a play-in for Levine, but broken up by the Dusters. Just opportunity after opportunity coming in for Kearney. Just Holdrege not been able to do anything offensively. As here's Burkett's playing with it here in the midfield. They still got 12 minutes left here in this half. Maybe get one more here on the board.
Another good overlap right there from the outside back.
This will be Wheeler to play it in. She'll throw it into Bennett. Bennett's going to center it, but for misuse, but she's still going to stick with it. Here's a shot. It's going to go up and wide.
A good dropping shot right there. Straka coming up to the middle.
Hannah Hardy with the shot that went wide.
I think eventually, Jeff, once they kind of get their form down, their discipline down on their shots, they're going to get one from out there. There is nobody from Holdrege there checking back on those midfielders running through the middle.
I can compare it to hockey. It's like you don't want to leave that middle zone right there because you could shoot anywhere.
Yeah, there are a lot of things about hockey and soccer that are similar. Lots of things. The more you read about soccer and read about hockey and watch those games, there are a lot of similarities between those two.
Now, it would be fun if soccer was playing on ice there.
That'd be cool.
That'd be cool.
It'd be difficult, but a lot of fun to watch.
As Kearney get on the attack, it's going to be Michigan playing for Bennett. Just too much on that pass, and so it'll be a goal kick coming up for Holdrege. So, 10.5 minutes left in this half. 2-0 Kearney. Both scored by Alexis Michoud coming in the 19th and 20th minute. Here's a goal kick. It's going to be played by Strubing back in deep for the Bearcats. As Levine takes it. She has a good shot. She's going to take it, and it's going to go wide.
Another good shot from distance, though. They're not wasting the shots from out there. They're getting closer and closer. And Levine is playing on the outside right there in that 4-3-3, and she came through the middle, kind of made a round little run through the middle there and created a shot for herself. It's about movement. I mean, if you're stagnant in this game, you can't stop the other team, and you can't get yourself going. The more you move around, the harder you are to track, and you can lose somebody. It's exactly what Levine did right there.
As Levine's going to take it away for Michaela Moore. And it's going to play it in for Bennett. And she's going to try to keep on. Who's it off? And it's going to be
it's a pretty close one right there.
Bearcat, yep.
Yeah, pretty close. Could have gone either way. I think Mr. Green got it right, though.
We'll kick here coming for Holdrege. It's going to be played by Harding to Michaela Moore. She's been recently added to the varsity roster.
That's right.
I mean, last home game last Tuesday, she made a couple good plays against Lexington.
And she's come off the bench with a lot of energy right here today. Already involved in the attack. A great sign right there. On that goal kick, you should keep possession on a goal kick. Holdrege gave it right to us right there. Got possession, dropped it, and right back on the attack right there. I think that's a sign of how this game's going right now. Holdrege really struggling, getting the ball, holding the ball, doing anything with it. Their two shots were fine shots, but they really have not been on that end of the field very much at all.
And now here's a corner kick coming for the Bearcats. Strubing's going to be played in deep. Oh, just missed shot, and it's going to be Bennett with the rebound, but nothing going. Here's a shot by Wheeler. Played back out, and Holdrege is going to get it away. Down the field for Holdrege, looking for somebody. Up there's Cassie Newth. Now it's going to be played back in deep, but it's going to be Heelan who will stick with it. And we got 8 minutes left here in this half. 2-0 Kearney.
Foul in midfield there. Not many fouls. A pretty clean game so far.
Yes, that was on Holdrege. So, yeah, I think that's the first foul we've seen so far in this game.
I think in our GNAC semifinal against Lexington, we played them twice last week. I think there were 17 fouls against Lexington in that game. It was a really rough,
I heard it got a little
physical
chippy.
game. It did a little bit, yeah. Really talented team, though. I'm glad we're done playing them. Twice in a week is plenty.
Yeah.
2 big wins for us, but I don't want to see them again until next year, and even later if we can. They are fantastic. I think for sure you'll see Lexington in the a good district seed. B district's a little bit different than ours, but I think you'll see them in the state tournament again this year. They're definitely a state tournament team.
Now I have a question about them. Did they try the same offensive strategy they did against you guys last Tuesday?
Yeah,
or
they did. Their coach is a Kearney High grad. He played for us and coached with me, actually, when my first son was going through high school here. He coached with us. Great guy, great coach. Also an English teacher, Jeff, by the way. He's learned a lot from us. I mean, there's no doubt. We both know what we're going to do. It's just whoever can do it better that day. And we came on top twice. We played well, but we're also pretty fortunate. Lexington's a very strong squad who will be there to the very, very end. Speaking of GNAC, Columbus, who we beat in the championship, also a strong squad. Some people say other Class B teams with some Class A schools, but both of those teams are absolutely fantastic, and both are going to be highly ranked when Class B is done and be in state tournament, I think.
And I think it says a lot about the depth of GNAC this year, from the fact that you guys, the 4 seed, won the tournament.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, as much as we're looking forward to going to the HAC, for soccer, the GNAC's a very, very strong conference. And it's not uniform for all the sports. I understand that. It's a good move for us, I think. For over the years, it's been a tough tournament, tough conference to play in. Makes you better, though. There are many very weak teams that we play in that conference, and we're better for it.
Of course, the Bearcats, North Platte, Columbus and Lexington out there in the top 4.
Yep, exactly.
And as showed when you guys played Norfolk, they're no slouch either.
No, absolutely not. The beginning of their season looked a little rough, but they had their 2 best players missing. They're back now.
Yeah.
So that makes a huge difference for them. They're a tough physical team. They play disciplined soccer. A lot out of the back. They don't possess a whole lot, but they're very, very strong in the back, win a lot of balls in the air. Don't try to possess, play it forward, knock it forward, and have enough skill to put a couple by you. I think you'll see their record improve for the rest of the year.
And Norfolk on the girls' side, there, I think I looked at the PowerPoints. They were about 2 or 3 in the PowerPoints, and they're 8-2.
Yeah, another very strong team.
Subs in for Holdrege, number 12, Claire Nelson, and number 30, Cora Hastings.
A couple more substitutions.
The coach for Norfolk and Tammy have a lot in common in that they both started the programs at their school. When soccer started for the girls in '92, I believe it was. Boys started 90, girls in 92. Tammy was the first coach here. I was the Norfolk coach. Tammy took 2 years off, but then came back. I actually was her assistant for 10 years. I coached those 2 years, but when my son started playing, I moved over to the boys' side. Tammy came back. Really the only head coach Kearney Soccer's had from the girls' side. That says a lot for her and the program, the stability that they've had over the years. Same with Norfolk. They're always a strong side.
As we got 4.5 minutes left here in this half. 2-0 Kearney, both goals by Alexis Mishu, coming in the 19th and 20th minute.
Another nice ball out to that.
Here's an opportunity for the Bearcats, but it's going to go out, and a goal kick coming for Holdrege.
Those diagonals going out to the outside wings, the strikers coming in on those diagonal runs are really, really exploiting Holdrege's defense. I think another one we're going to get on the end of right there. We're not far off as it is.
It's played in off a header by Allie Trout. And to go off side foot there.
Not a good ball right there
Hallie
from the
Hickson.
Holdrege defender. She put her team in a tough spot here with that throw in deep.
As it's going to be Straka trying to play it, but that's good defense there.
That was good.
As Schrock's going to come in and try to play it for Christina Dishman, but it's broken up there by Wheeler.
Right there you saw Newth, number 2 for Holdrege, checking back. Something Kearney's been doing all day. They gained a little bit of possession by doing that. If she keeps doing that, they might get something going. She's going to have to play much deeper, come back much deeper, get that ball, and then turn it. She made a good attempt right there, and it worked for a few seconds, but we sniffed it out and got it away from her. But that's the key for them, I think, the second half, the rest of this game.
Here's a centering pass for Bennett. She was open, but she just hopped over her foot.
I think she's a little surprised the defender missed that. Defender 22 was in great position right there. Milks was. Missed the ball a little bit, and I think Rihanna was a little surprised that it got to her.
Now, could you see in the second half for Holdrege maybe bring up another midfielder or a defender to come and get some more offense?
I think it'd be a good idea. It's risky because you'll give up some stuff in the back, and we've been putting a lot of pressure in the back on them. I think to try to win the game, you're going to need a goal. I mean, you don't – I know we talked about ties earlier, but you don't get any points for – holding him out second half. It's already 2-0. So I think it'd be a good idea to try increase that offense, put another person up there. I wouldn't go to 3 defenders. You can see they're running a diamond right now. It's a little bit unusual in high school with soccer, run that diamond. That sweeper stays deep. It leaves you open to some deep penetration by the offense. Especially you see now what Tammy has, our striker doing is going in the middle of that diamond. It holds that stopper right there. What that does, it takes another person away. You can check the gap. There's nobody from Holdrege from the 25-yard line to the 50. That's a huge gap right there. I would guess that we're going to try to exploit that here when we get the ball.
So the far side
it's a conservative way to play, but it doesn't give you a whole lot of attack to do that.
Holdrege having more possession here of late, this last minute or so. Not be able to capitalize on the opportunity, though, as Levine's going to play it out wide. She's going to be attacked by a couple of Holdrege defenders. They'll get it away back to the midfield, but Struming plays up and gets nice defensive play, but it'll be off her foot and possession of Holdrege.
In for Holdrege, number 3, Jacqueline Schrock. In for the Bearcats, number 16, Ashley Ringline.
See Coach Anderson there Bennett comes off, immediately coaching her up, telling her those runs she needs to make and what she has to do. That's exactly how she runs stuff. I love it.
1 minute remaining. 1 minute.
1 minute left in this half. The Bearcats lead it 2-0. Really dominated almost every aspect of the game right here.
We're talking about similarities between hockey and soccer. This is a similarity to coaching basketball and soccer. You're never off. You're coaching the whole time. You're always watching the game. You're always looking for ways your team can improve, movements, passes, things like that. It's a full-time, for 80 minutes, it's a full-time job.
As Michaela Moore tried to play it to ring line, but it goes out. Wouldn't be surprised if Holdrege just tries to play it as slow as they can just to run out the clock here in this half with 20 seconds left.
Right, yeah. Yep, she's no hurry to take this goal kick, is she?
And if you're Holdrege, I think you're fortunate to be only down 2-0.
As agree.
Just everything has gone in the way of Kearney.
4, 3, 2, 1.
And that is halftime. Kearney leads it 2-0. On goals by Alexis Bishop. We'll take a break, come back with some stats, scores from around the state, and prepare you for the second half between Kearney and Holdrege. You're watching live here on the Bearcat Sports Network. We welcome you back live here to the Kearney High School Stadium. We're halftime, just about to get started for the second half between Kearney and Holdrege in girls soccer. Kearney leads 2-0. Let's get you some stats. First, we'll start with the Bearcats. With our unofficial stats, we got Kearney with 12 shots on the net with 2 corner kicks and 1 goaltender save by Heelan. Scoring those 2 goals was sophomore Alexis Mishu, recently being moved up to forward, and it's paid dividends as she has 2 goals and 1 minute separating those goals, coming in the 19th and 20th minutes.
Right. Strong half for Kearney there. Holdrege, 2 shots, a corner kick, and a foul. Not a lot of possession there. Making the most what they can get. They just can't get the ball very much. Pretty one-sided right now. Scoreboard probably doesn't quite show quite how dominating Kearney's been, but 2 goals is a good start. I think we'll see some more coming. Holders needs to try their best to get some possession in the midfield, turn it up, and maybe take a shot whenever you have a chance. You can't score unless you hit that ball to the net. That's an obvious statement, but sometimes we forget that.
Just a reminder, you're watching live here on Strive TV on the Bearcat Sports Network. I'm Jeff Ekstrom, along with my colorman Robert Mishu and camera guy Cannon Rath, as we get set here for the second half of play. And we'll see what kind of adjustments. So, Robert, do you notice? I don't see much defensively. At least I don't see much adjustment from Holdrege.
Formation-wise, they're sticking with the exact same thing. We'll see if they switch out. They can maybe get a few minutes to see, 10 minutes to see if it's going to change anything. It depends on coach's philosophy a little bit. Some coaches want to change it right away. Some like to give it a little bit of time to see what happens. He's giving it 40 minutes. Jeff, we have a rule change coming in high school soccer in Nebraska here. You saw that kickoff right there. The old rule, and it's still a rule here, is that the ball has to go 1 revolution forward. The National Federation changed that, but since we have spring soccer, our rules take a little while to catch up. So next spring, they'll start in the fall. Next spring, you can go straight back on the kickoff. It's been done in professional soccer for years. We're just catching up.
But change is change, so
exactly.
That's good.
Well, it always goes back anyway. I mean, you roll it forward, you pass it back anyway. It's one of those weird rules that have stuck around forever.
As the Bearcats here again on the attack, as they have in most of the game, as it's Mishu is going to try to center it, and here's a chance, and it's going to be Holdrege, goaltender, being on top of the ball.
You saw Mishu on the outside that time, making that run, checking back, making the outside run, and the outside strikers come inside, and then she crosses it to them. It's really good movement. Using to confuse the defense. Also puts a defender who hasn't been as strong on Alexis, who's been very strong. Try to get that matchup going right there.
Now, of course, Kearney, they dominated the first half. What have you seen any adjustments from them that really stick out? Where it's like, I mean, they're playing the way they're playing. It's like, don't change much.
No, I think Coach Anderson would echo that right there. Personnel's the same, formation's the same. I wouldn't suspect that she'll change formation. There's a chance if Holdrege would get a goal and if the game gets late, she may drop a defender, somebody back to play a little defensive mid or another defender on top of the back 4. But if that doesn't happen, you really no reason to do any change, make any changes right now.
As and that's going to draw a foul, and as it should. As that foul is called on number 17, Meredith Christensen.
Only the second foul of the game. I mean, again, we said it first half, pretty clean game.
As they played in deep. It's going to be Mitchell trying to play it, and it's Holdrege going to break it out. So Bearcats still trying, still attacking there. Didn't look, that was not very crisp passing right there by Holdrege.
It's too bad we couldn't develop a chance like that. That pressure that Mishu put on the outside back caused that turnover through the middle. We got it right back up on them, but couldn't get a chance generated on goal.
Now here come the Dusters trying to get something, but
see that size advantage I was talking about right there. They just exploited that.
Here's a play in deep, but Heelan's going to be right there.
Not a good cross in there. She got the opportunity. She physicaled. Physicaled, is that a word? It is now. Physicaled her off the ball right there. Took a verb, made it a noun. You know what that is, Jeff. All right. I think that's a really good opportunity for Holdrege right there. If they can get that going, get that physical mismatch going, and maybe they can do something with it. They can get the ball to number 3 on the outside and get a quick pass in and keep her run going. There's a possibility there. We did a nice job of sniffing it out there, though, our defense did.
And that's number 3 is Jacqueline Schrock, and we've called her name a few times tonight. And she is the attacking forward that Holdrege likes to use. Now here's a chance. Trout with a shot goes wide.
Trout did a nice job of being the defender on the inside there. Took a left-footed shot. Maybe had a little more time to get a little more on that, either on her right or a little better shot to left. But, you know, thought she needed to hurry a little bit.
And it doesn't look like the Bearcats are being too conservative out there, and that's usually sometimes happens to team when they're up 2-0 here in the early second half.
A soccer guru once told me that 2-0 is the most dangerous lead in soccer. Actually, one of our volunteer assistants, Bill Lindsay, he and I coached our son's team from 2nd grade up through 9th grade, the Kearney Wings, a really successful club team. And we talk about that with the boys all the time. 2-0 is very dangerous. You feel like you got a big lead, 1 goal changes. If you score, that game's probably over. If they score, they're right back in the thick of the thing. They have momentum. Yeah. So that 2-0, you want to really press to try to get another goal if you can. If you're Kearney right here, and if you're Holdrege, you don't want to give it up.
Yeah. As Trout's going to push it again for Levine. She's going to play it for Mishu. It looked like it was a little behind her, so Holdrege got position on that one.
I think Coach Anderson has moved Levine to the target forward here and leaving Alexis on the outside right.
So I think Holdrege, I don't know if they've keyed on Levine tonight, but it's like she hasn't. She's made nice plays,
right.
But I mean, compared to her standards,
nice
she hasn't really.
Yeah.
But here's Bennett up to. She's gonna
Really
take a
nice.
shot.
Really nice.
And off the hands of the goaltender, off the post, back in to the Duster goaltender. So that's a nice shot there by Bennett.
Yeah, it was. We talk about that soccer philosophy. You go high in the far post, low on the near post. Bennett crossed her up there. She went high in the near post and almost got it through there. The keeper had to stretch back and got her hands on it, tipped it off the crossbar, actually. Very near goal right there.
And Straka will fight for possession and get it away to Bennett here on the near sideline.
We'll stick with that, though. If Bennett hits that ball low at her knees, I think she probably scores.
Schrock is going to try to get something going. Or excuse me, that is Cassie Newth. She's trying to get something going.
She had a little space right there. Just couldn't quite catch up the ball. Kearney knocked it out. Throwing for Holdrege.
As you look, Holdrege getting a little more offense than they did in the first half. But like every other game, it's a game of adjustments.
Right. There are a lot of subtle adjustments that happen in soccer.
And so they're trying to play it in, but defense too strong for Kearney right now. I'd say the 2 or 3 opportunities Soldiers had has come in the first half. And they've been good opportunities, just that they have not had a lot of them.
Right.
And for the Dusters, number 33, Mercy Linden.
A couple more substitutions coming in for Holdrege.
Some early subs there for Holdrege. I'm not sure if the coach has seen something or the girls are a little tired after halftime, and that's a little unusual so quick into the second half.
Ringline plays it for Lexi Levine. Levine's going to try to play it in the center, but it's broken up.
Yeah, she missed Alexis was making the cutting run there from the outside, and then Lexi missed it, passed a little high there.
Holden gets in the ring line, and here's a chance, but Holdrege defender is there, and she wanted to play it off. They'll never try to get a corner, but she still gets possession of it. Here's Levine fighting for it. Now back out for Trout. Trout's going to take a shot to her right.
It's a really good drop by Levine back to Trout there. She needed to get her balance a little bit for that shot. Ball got stuck underneath her a little bit.
Holdrege trying, playing it in the midfield. It'll be off a Duster, so Lauren Strubing will throw it in for the Bearcats.
Another slight adjustment by Coach Anderson there. She's moved Whitley Straka back to the other center back. Took out the defensive mid and just moved her back right there.
And you think she did that for defensive reasons? Because we know
Yeah,
Whitney, she's been really making a good impact there on the offensive side of
I
things.
agree. You know, it's not, I won't say it's a risk by any means, but she's a stronger defender. That's why she's playing defensive mid. There haven't been a whole lot of balls in the air from Holdrege on the offensive attack. Whitley is a little shorter. A lot of times the center back, you want them to be a little tall so they get their head in some balls, but Holdrege hasn't shown that. So I think Tammy feels pretty safe with doing that.
As here's the play for Madeline Holden. Holdrege getting away here at the midfield, but Strubing playing up.
Really great play by Strubing there.
And she's going to bring it up. She's going to get it away to Levine. And
handball. Got a handball on that one, yeah. Unlucky the ball went up and hit Lexi in the hand.
If only you could use your hands in soccer.
I know, but would that really be right? And the way they call handball sometimes is really, really strange. I don't think I even really understand the rules anymore.
Here's a shot, and it's a good save.
Now, that was a good shot. If Trout has that shot in that last possession, she probably scores. Keeper did a nice job of standing that one up.
As Madeline Holden's going to play it up into the attacking third.
Really like how Lauren Strubing's playing that aggressive outside defender. That run she made right there a few minutes ago was very, very good. And you feel safer doing that when you've got that possession and Holdrege isn't turning around a whole lot on you.
Here's another shot off a duster silk. Corner coming. And they're going to put Holden's going to shoot away instead of Strubing.
You notice that Kearney's shooting a lot more this half early. 10 minutes in the half, they're letting the ball fly. I think they're trying to press for that goal. I think Tammy saw something first half. We're getting in close, but they're clogging the middle. You can loosen them up by those shots from the outside.
Now is Holden on the corner. Here's a chance. Now for Trout, a shot, rebound, score!
Oh, very nice.
I call that a hattie right there. Alexis Mishu.
Guys, I want to see the replay. I'm not going to doubt that goal. The far AR let it go. It looked a little offside to me. But as long as if she's in that spot before the shot is taken, it's okay. The shot was on its way, and she kind of deflected around the keeper. Keeper had no chance, honestly. But our far AR, Miss Rosser, calls it good, so we'll stick with it.
A goal by Alexis Mishu in the 29th minute. Makes it 3-0 Kearney. That is her third goal of the night, a hat trick.
Brother's going to be a little jealous. She's got two older brothers who played, both All-State players. I'm not sure how many hat tricks they had.
Alexis Mishu. That's Alexis' third goal of the game.
Give credit to Alexis on the goal there. It was a really good redirection, but the shot was really, really solid shot. If a keeper's got a ball coming at him, they make an adjustment to that ball. If it deflects off anything, especially on purpose like that, it's impossible to save. Who took that shot?
Trout, I believe, took that shot.
And there you see again, that's the third shot she's taken this half. More strength on each one. That's exactly what Tammy, I think, has instructed the team to do at halftime, is take those shots from far out, loosen that defense up. It's a great, great ball shot in there by Trout.
Now, as we probably get more here, maybe wait about 5 or 10 more minutes. As here's a nice ball for Levine out wide, but the Dusters will corral that. I think you'll see more girls come in to play more since it's 3-0.
I think you're right, especially the busy week we have. We talked about earlier today. We have a really busy week. A lot of games coming. You want to keep people as fresh as possible for Grand Island on Thursday, and then 2 on Saturday.
Here's a chance. And the ball goes wide.
They've switched again. They put Alexis back at target forward and Lexi back on the outside right. I'm not sure the purpose of that is. It's working fine. It's worked fine both ways. Maybe just trying to get a different look for different players there. See the ball from a different angle.
And now it looks like Holden will be on the corner once again. Scored last time on it. Now here's a deep kick, and it's going to be Mishu on the rebound. She's going to kick it off Duster defender, so another corner.
Yep.
They'll just switch sides, though, this time. So unofficial stats, looks like I got 4 corners for the Bearcats, and they've scored on one of them.
Last corner, Kearney had somebody marking the keeper. This time they don't. I like marking the keeper.
Here's a shot, and it's in. Or is it?
Nope.
Nope.
Nope, waving it off. AR says no goal. Great header right there.
Looked like it got behind the Duster goalkeeper initially.
Close. If I may, I just talked right before that about marking the keeper. You keep that person the keeper. The goalie can't get that ball if she can't see it. Really fantastic header, though. Almost in.
If only high school soccer implemented instant replay.
That would have been close. I've looked at it a few times, I think. And the rule states the entire ball has to be entirely over the line. That's for out of bounds and goals as well. They are tough calls. They're bang calls. They are. His positioning was good. I think he had a pretty good look at it.
And number 30, Corey Hastings. In for the Bearcats, number 11, Rhiannon Bennett.
Rhiannon Bennett coming in for the Bearcats, in for Lexi Levine.
Lexi had a really good shift starting that second half. She played really well. Created some opportunities, got some things directed at the goal.
And what's unique about her is that the speed she has for how big of a forward she is. As here's a chance, here's a breakaway, a shot, and they score.
It's a really good counterattack by Holdrege right there. Our center backs got a little wide.
That's number 12, Claire Nelson, with the goal.
And goal at the 55-minute mark by number 12, Claire Nelson.
So goal.
As I was saying, our center backs got a little wide there. The ball was on the outside. Nelson makes the run right between them. Nice ball behind the center backs. Rather easy finish.
So at the 55th minute, a goal for Holdrege, and it's 3-1. As Ringline's going to play it in for Mishu on the far sideline. Actually, excuse me, that's Bennett. She's going to take a shot, but goes wide. So, goal kick coming for Holdrege.
There's a really good answer by Holdrege there. Sometimes you're down, you have no possession. You play for that counterattack. It's a dangerous situation in soccer. Fortunately, it wasn't 2-0. It was 3-0, so you don't feel quite as panicked. Had we not got that third goal, it'd be 2-1 right now, and you're feeling a lot of pressure. I think they'll shore up this defense right here. Tammy, we'll talk to the girls a little bit and make sure they don't get that separation, those center backs.
As Nelson trying to play it again. And here's Holdrege. They got possession here. It's going to be Nelson on the near wing. She's going to center one, but Reeland is there.
You know, speed and soccer go together. Tammy, it would be a risk to move Alexis up top. She does have 3 goals tonight, but she loses that speed in the center back. Our center back's doing a very nice job. They're not quite as quick, and then if you have an opponent who's fast like that ball's sent up in space, you can run onto it.
I think right now it's like I don't think the Bearcats really need to panic. They're up 2 goals.
Right.
Just a little hiccup.
Yeah, exactly. And I see another goal coming for us anyway. We got the possession back right there. We're putting pressure on her. Keep her to come out and collect that one.
As Mitchell tried to play one Indy, but Duster's right there. Now here's a chance here for Cassie Newth. Tried to pass Strubing. But Strubing's going to get it away, but intercepted there by Jaden Smalls. And it went off Strubing.
I think it got her up in the face. I think it kind of her in the face and dazed her a little bit here. I like that play that Avery Collison made right there as the other center back pushing up high and stopping that offensive player right there. Gave the other backs time to backtrack a little bit, and we were able to snuff that one out.
And looks like we got a call here.
That's one of the easiest way to kill a counterattack is just to stop it as quickly as possible, and sometimes the center back has to step up and do that, especially with Straka not at the defensive mid right now. Her playing center back, they don't have that quick stop like they had first half.
Bearcats now trying to get something going offensively. Mishu on the far sideline. It passes a little too much, and it will go out.
That's the downside of AstroTurf right there. On grass, we have that ball, we can turn it in. It runs on the turf a little bit. You got to adjust to it. It's hard.
Number 18, Michaela Moore.
Michaela Moore checks in for Kearney. Will spark off the bench.
that turf's an adjustment. Being the purist I am, growing up playing and watching soccer on grass, it looks very pretty. I love turf. Our field is magnificent. But, you know, that soccer just inside, I think it should be on grass.
As the Bearcats will play the far sideline. As it'll be Madeline Holden. Gives it to Trout. Now going to play it back to Holden. She's going to play it in, looking for more, but broken up. But Ringland is there. Back out to Holden. There's a nice move there to get some penetration. She's going to play it up ahead, but it's going to go out and a goal kick. So, not to look too much forward, but of course we got GI coming up on Thursday.
Yes, we do.
For the girls, based on what you've seen from them, what are the Bearcats going to need to prepare for?
A team that is pretty conservative, pretty disciplined, not a lot of offensive punch. Grayling girls have a good team. They have some athletes on that team, but they don't push real hard. We should be able to penetrate. We should be able to control the midfield, and we should get some scoring opportunities. Don't want to predict anything, but we should be able to play well enough to come away with a win there if things go as they have the last couple games. You can see right there Tammy's adjustment. She put Alexis back at defense, back at center back, replacing Straka. Told you there's a possibility. Hey, if Holdrege would score, that might happen. She wants that speed back there to snuff out any kind of counterattack. Oh, an unusual illegal throw call right there. You don't see that too often.
Of course, the headliner on Thursday is going to be the boys' game.
Oh, so it was a good one.
Conference champions, Grand Island winning Heartland's Athletic Conference tournament for the 5th time in the last 7 years. And, of course, Kearney winning it for the first time, I believe, since 2013.
First time in 3 years, right.
So what is GI going to bring to the table for the boys?
They bring a fantastic soccer team, great touch, great technical skill, really good athletes, play really hard. To be honest, they'll probably dominate possession a little bit. We'll have to work some counterattacks. Nice shot right there.
Oh, and it's in.
That goes in.
Goal by number 16, Ashley Ringline.
Ashley Ringline.
Hey, I don't want to call myself Nostradamus here, Jeff, but I called Alexis moving back if we got scored on. I also told you we score from the outside. We've loosened that defense up. That's a really, really nice decision to shoot and a really well-executed shot right there.
At the 61-minute mark of the game, Kearney scored 4, Holdrege 1.
So back to Grand Island. It's always a really hard-fought battle. The last few years, we've always been ranked when we play each other. It's always a one-goal game. It's always back and forth. I think last year we won 1-0. It's the first time we won there in years. We've had games that have been, we were up 3-1 a couple years back. They came back and got us 4-3. 3-2 games. It's always intense. The crowd is always great. The players are into it. The crowd's into it. The coaches are into it. The referees are into it. It's one of the most perfect soccer atmospheres you can have in central Nebraska. And I look forward to the game every single year. I'm glad we're hosting this year. We had a run there. We were stitching our schedule up. We played there 3 years in a row, and it was supposed to be here. We got iced out, actually, in an ice storm. So I'm really, really looking forward to having the Islanders here at our home stadium the first year of this facility here. It's a gorgeous place. It's going to be a great, great soccer game. It's going to be hard fought. I'll predict another one-goal game, hopefully for us. Both teams are ranked top 10 right now. I think we're 7 and Grand Island's 10. They're coming off, like you said, a conference championship, a really unusual one. They won all 3 games in a shootout. That's very rare. You don't usually see 3 games in a row in a conference tournament going to shootout, or one team winning 3 in a row. It shows their skill, their tenacity, also their technical ability. You can win 3 shootouts with a keeper and probably some really dang good shooters. I'm hoping not to go to a shootout. We had our last one go to a shootout as well. Shootouts are always kind of hit and miss. Sometimes you have great shootouts, and sometimes you just can't get the ball in the back of the net. The keeper makes a good save. They swing back and forth. The pendulum and shootout swing back and forth. They're very nerve-wracking. It'll be a great game. I hope people come out and see it here. Watch it on Strive TV if you can't.
We'll have that.
But the atmosphere is going to be an amazing atmosphere.
Now, of course, they had probably the leader of that Grand Island team that led into that conference championship was their goaltender. How are you guys offensively going to attack Grand Island Thursday?
Well, you got to get the keeper moving. I mean, if you let the keeper stand still, if you keep things going at him, if you don't penetrate the box, if you make shots that are really, really direct and predictable, the keepers are very, very successful. He's very athletic. He's got great hands. I think we have an athletic keeper with great hands as well. So we'll put up a fight in our own box there. But if you don't get keeper moving, if you don't put pressure on him, then you're usually not very successful, including penalty kicks. I know penalty kicks look easy, 12 yards away, but the shooters always second-guess themselves. I was a goalie. Coach Steinberg was a goalie. My sons took penalty kick shootouts. One played goalie and one was a shooter as well. He did both. You can't help but second-guess yourself. You can't tell which way I'm going. Has he seen me shoot before? Off the keeper's hands there.
This is a chance for Kearney. A shot is going to go wide and out.
So shootouts are very dicey propositions. I mean, you're happy that you got to a shootout, especially if you were behind in the game. Maybe you held them 0-0. But once it starts, it is pretty nerve-wracking. I honestly don't prefer them. I prefer to win outright. When you're playing against a team with those type of shooters, that keeper, you want to stay away from shootouts.
Now, also, you guys made a couple of adjustments, formation-wise. By you guys are 4-3-3, but you moved. I noticed Jane Ingen back there at the back four, and that worked against Lexington at 2-0. That was the first of many games. So, what has really helped solidify that back four? We've
done a better job. Actually, we've kind of made a minor adjustment to a more pure 4-2-3 or 4-2-3-1. Moving Ingen to the back, and also dropping Royce Austin to the midfield as offensive mid, and moving Carson Schwartz out of the back into the defensive mid. And it's been a good adjustment for us. We've had to replace a couple guys as far as new positions, but with the success, I think we'll keep trying it. Like you said earlier, soccer's a game of adjustments. And sometimes in midstream, you've got to try something different. We waited to the end of a game to try it, but they've worked so far. So we'll throw what we got at them. We'll try our best to see. Neither is going to bring a strong team. That's for sure. Like I said, it's always a high emotion, high octane game. It's fun. They're a lot of fun. I try not to lose sleep the night before. I'll be okay tonight. Tomorrow night I'll probably be awake most of the night. We just try to have a couple good practices beforehand, get everybody crisp, get everybody healthy. We're not completely healthy yet, so we'll do our best with that.
I mean, you got to give props to your team with all the injuries that you guys have had. You guys are out to an 8-1 start.
Yeah. If you just look at our injuries, we would never predicted having an 8-1 start and winning a conference championship. We knew we'd be competitive. Another good shot from distance there is Whitley. We knew we'd be competitive. I mean, we have enough good players, and we have a great club program in Kearney. The boys really work hard for their school and for their coaches. So we knew we'd be okay. Maybe not this okay. I mean, you lose some key spots, key returners and key positions, very, very difficult. But it speaks to our depth. We've had some guys step up and do a really nice job of filling those holes. And not making them holes, just making little gaps out of them, which I think is really, really important, and they should be really proud of themselves. Nobody has gotten too worried, got too worked up, hung their head or anything like that. They've played really, really hard. We've expanded our roster right before the conference tournament like we usually do. We feel very comfortable playing, 18 guys if we have to, 20 if we have to. That doesn't happen every year. Last couple of years it hasn't been the case. If you watched this last year, we made very few substitutions. We played maybe in some games 12 or 13 guys. We don't do that anymore. We have some really quality players, and we can play a lot of guys in a lot of different spots. So that's an advantage for us. Makes our decisions a little bit easier, Coach Steinberg and myself.
Now, probably one of the bigger injuries has been Matt Studi. He's probably known for being one of the better midfielders in the state.
Right.
What have you guys – maybe you made adjustments. Yeah. What have you guys made to really counteract that injury right there?
Patiently waiting and hoping he comes back. He worked out a bit today. I'm not sure when he's going to be ready. He's still a little ginger on the ankle. One of the big ones was shoring up that midfield by moving Schwartz in the midfield. And we have two center backs are taking up the slack, which is really, really helpful. So we'll stick with that a little longer, see what happens. Studi's going to be back soon. he's going to be back soon, and we'll have that back the way it's supposed to be, or it originally was, and be a little stronger. Not that we're not strong now, but add that strength, that experience more than anything else. The guys we have in those places now just haven't been there very long. So, it's not just the physicality and the technical ability that Studi gives us, it's the experience he gives us. He's a 3-year starter.
Now, I don't know if you know this, but I have to ask. I might have to ask him myself. How does Sam Straka get his throw-in so far? I mean, holy cow.
Amazing, isn't it? I have no idea. He is so strong. He doesn't look that strong.
No, he's big.
Yeah.
And all, but, like, with the way it's just
it's a legitimate weapon. I would hate to defend his throw-ins. I feel bad for their team. I like it for us.
Yeah.
I just don't know. If I was a keeper on their team, I'd be shaking in my boots every time he got a throw-in, inside, 25 yards. He is fantastic at it. Other side, John Erickson, he's a little smaller than Straka, but he can have that ball in there too. Last year we had Austin Mishu in there who could throw it a little bit farther than Sam last year, amazingly. So we had it from the both sides. So we develop it, we work it. We're actually going to have to look for some variety. You can't do the same thing all the time. So, in the future, by the time we get to districts, we'll probably have a couple different plays for that throw-in from his side. It does wear him out a little bit going from both sides, but he's good enough at it that we think we need to give it a shot. I'm as amazed as you are. Every time I see it, I kind of catch my breath. I can't believe he threw it that far.
I'd say it's probably farther than some teams' corners.
It's got to be. It absolutely has to be. We're developing a tradition of outside left backs that can throw it. Our starter on JV, also on the varsity squad, he can throw it not quite as far as Sam, but he can heft that ball out there. He really does a nice job of getting that ball and getting a very similar attack that Sam does. So when Sam graduates next year, we'll have somebody else to step right in and do the exact same thing. Again, we're very fortunate for our depth.
It's a play in for the Bearcats to Lexi Levine, but it's broken up as we got 12:20 left here in this game as the Bearcats lead it 4-1. Goals coming in this half by Ashley Ringline and Claire Nelson.
And there you see an example of what I was talking about. Alexis Mishu playing center back, running that ball down the outside, being a defender there. That's what Coach Anderson is looking for, that speed out of the center. Holdrege leaving a lot of space for Kearney right there to check back and get that ball and turn it upfield.
As they'll just, Holdrege defender will just kick it out of play. And the Bearcats will have a throw in. As we got 11:30 left. Bearcats, except for one minor hiccup, have been able to dominate this game so far.
I think that's a good description. They just kind of lost track a little bit. Just got beat through the middle with a really, really good ball to space. A hiccup is perfect because since then and before then, Holdrege developed very little attack.
As another substitution. Coming in is number 8, Carrie Strubing, freshman. And the Bearcats have a very young team.
Which, is frustrating in the present tense, but it gives you a lot of hope for the future.
I say your main contributor scoring-wise, Lexi Levine, freshman sophomore.
Exactly right. That's
here's a chance, and
keep her fortunate there. She misplayed that a little bit, went over her head, but she turned around and grabbed it.
Looked like Levine had a chance to put one there, but
she did.
Good adjustment there by the goaltender to get the save.
Their handball there, unfortunate bounce off of the hand of Ringline.
Kick away for Holdrege. Number 4, Rebecca Scholes. She'll kick it down the way for Newth. She'll play it against Lauren Strubing. Newth is going to try to get by it, but that's great defense by Strubing.
Great play by Strubing. She gave it the outside. You always give the offensive player the outside. Force him to the sideline, force him out. Really, really smart play by Lauren there.
Lauren, quite an athlete herself. She plays 3 different sports. Starter for softball, starter for the state tournament girls basketball team, and now starter here on soccer.
Yeah, doing that for a couple years now. Does a pretty dang good job in the classroom, too.
And that's the thing with Kearney, kind of a blessing and also kind of a hassle a little is the fact that we're small enough that we need athletes to go out for more than one sport to survive. But yet again, that pays dividends in the fact that they're in sport most of the season. They're going to be in shape, and they're going to be very, very athletic.
They are waving his flag down here. Not sure what he called. Referee Brad Green's going to check it out.
Call coming, and we'll see what happens here. Oh, maybe injury?
Looks like it.
And it looks like that's Newth.
Yep, exactly what it was.
Yep, injury time, but Newth looks to be okay. That's good.
Unfortunate spot for that, though.
So free kick. Goes in, nice header back out, and Ringline's just going to go downfield. It looks like it's Levine who's playing up the forward position. Again, head coach for Kearney, Tim Anderson, making that adjustment, moving Mishu back on defense.
You talk about Lauren being a three-sport athlete there. It doesn't just help physically. It helps a lot mentally. You don't see her panic out here at all. You know, she's been through it with softball for a couple years. She's been through it with basketball for a couple years. A very exciting basketball season this year with that district win at Millard South. Under a lot of pressure, a lot of pressure from the crowd, and a fantastic Millard South team ended up losing the finals of Southwest. You don't see her panic out here. She's had a lot of experience with these type of situations. So I agree with you completely. Those multi-sport athletes it can be frustrating at times, but also very rewarding at times, and get you out some really tough spots.
I think that's kind of what Kearney has to do to survive, competing with schools like Millard West, Millard North, Grand Prep have tons of athletes.
You know, that helps them specialize, but, you know, Coach Steinberg and I, we always want multi-sport athletes because of that very reason. They handle themselves with composure. They know how to practice. They know how to show up for games. You know, almost without exception, our best players are our multi-sport athletes.
There's a free kick here for the Bearcats. Looks like Collison. Deep kick. That's a good kick. Here's a rebound chance for Ringline. Still Jesselyn down there, and it's going to go out.
It's a really nice free kick in there. Bounced around the box a little bit. Got a corner out of it, though.
So, as we see Strubing, I believe she's left-footed, so that's why they like to put her down there.
Exactly. Really, really almost an expert corner kick taker. Every ball she sent in there has been fantastic tonight.
As we have the last 6.5 minutes left to go in the second half of play. Here's a corner right in the middle. It's a header. Looked like there by Mishu, but goaltender save.
Another thing I really like is you send those center backs up in there for corner kicks. They're usually your tallest players. They can get a head on it. Now she bent way down for that header. That's okay. Give you a little bit of that size presence in the box on the opponent's down in the opponent's box in your corner kicks.
As Strubing beats Newth to the ball. It was Newth who kicked it out. Strubing throws it in for Straka. Straka's going to play it down for Ringline. She's going to play it up
really
ahead.
Nice ball to space right there by Ringline to Levine right there.
Levine on the
nice
outside.
Corner flag run there.
Here's Ringline. Open opportunity, a shot, and right to the goaltender. That's a great shot opportunity right there.
Really good play. Doesn't hit the keeper, she probably scores again. Really nice working that ball down into the corner for Levine. A great pass out of there from her back to Ringline for the shot. It's really, really solid soccer right there.
That's a nice fight for possession there by Straka to get that possession. Now we got a couple substitutions.
And number 21, senior Jessie Vasquez.
As senior Jessie Vasquez, first chance here at Strive, we'll be able to see her play. Coming off a knee injury.
Thank you.
Good to see her be able to get back out there tonight after hurting her knee. It's tough to be injured to sit in the sideline and watch your teammates play.
Looks like she's going to be playing up on that forward position.
Yep, she's definitely the target there.
And there is Vasquez. Playing with it, she'll pass back. Fight possession there is Lauren Strubing. And Holdrege just play it
Played
back
over
down.
Top. Yep, played over the top there.
Here's Nelson there. It's Newt who's gonna 5-foot. She'll keep it, but it's broken up. Here's another chance to get played in deep, but Reeland's gonna come in, make the sliding stop.
It's Holdrege's best chance right now is to play over top of our center backs, our back four line, and run onto it. Not exactly what they did in their goal, but pretty close. I think you'll probably see that again here.
And they'll just kick it back down again as Reeland's
Keep
gonna come out and play.
runner.
That's it.
Nicely done.
And yep. As collision there by Reeland and Holdrege forward.
When your opponent plays those long balls over the top like that, you know what they're trying to do. The keeper's got to play high herself. If the keeper hangs back, it's a goal for sure. At very least, an excellent opportunity. She did a really nice job of coming off her line right there. Heelan did, and snuffing that ball, smothering that ball. Unfortunately, the Holdrege girl fell over. Looked like she got a little bit of a knock. But there's no other way to play that position right there, and with that strategy that they're running right there. Has to be done.
So we'll take an injury timeout. Bearcats lead at 4-1. You're watching live here on the Bearcat Sports Network. Welcome back to Kearney. Injury is done. They got her off the field. That was number 32, Jane Smalls. Hopefully she will be okay. As we get settled here for the last 3.5 minutes. As the Bearcats will be on attack. So 3:30 left. As Bearcats will play it in. Ring line's going to send one up. And field goal.
She had a little more time than she thought she did there. She probably could have settled that and taken a little stronger shot or gone on in a bit. But another shot created another offensive chance for Kearney there, one of the many tonight.
As Green line's going to play it in deep. She's going to try to get by a defender. Sort of does. She's going to try centering pass for Vasquez, but it goes wide, and it'll be Straka. Loses it to Nuth, but Straka's going to get it right back. She's really been impressive tonight, just playing all over the field and
Agreed.
creating those offensive opportunities. As here comes Holdrege looking for Schrock, but broken up there by Avery Collison.
Yep, center backs playing well together right there. Another ball in through there. Easily snapped up by the keeper.
As this was kind of a test for Holdrege, as after this, kind of a tune-up as they will play in their Central Conference tournament. As we also have a score update from around the state tonight. It was a big match of girls soccer. Number 1 Marion facing number 2 Millard West, and it was Millard West coming out on top 3-1 against Marion, the defending state champ, and that was at Marion. So
it's a big win for Millard West there. Yeah,
a little bit of an upset as Ringline here's a breakaway. She's onside. She's gonna shoot, and is it gonna sneak in? Nope. That's a good save.
Yeah, it was. A nice shot. The keeper got down low for it. Looked like a snuck past her, but she turned and picked it up.
As we will kick it away for Newth. It'll just go out. So, of course, after this, the Bearcats, both teams, boys and girls, will host Grand Island here on Thursday. Girls starting at 5:15, and the boys following around 7. We will have that here on Strive TV. Then on Saturday, they head to the Lincoln Southeast Invite. For the boys, they are seated first in the invite. They will play Lincoln Southeast. And then they will play, if they win that, they will play the winner of Elkhorn and Bellevue West. We have not confirmed the teams on the girls' side. We have a feeling it could be pretty similar.
It might be. Yeah, I think there's a team that kind of rotates in there a little bit, depending on the year. It used to always be Lincoln Pius, but it always fell on a couple times. It fell on Easter weekend, like this year, so they had to drop out of it. On the boys' side, that's how Elkhorn got in, actually. Yeah. But we'll be seeing Pius regular here in a couple years. They're joining the hack along with us in Norfolk, so we'll be playing them on a yearly basis, year after next.
The final 15 seconds of this one winds down. The Bearcats will win it 4-1.
10, 9, 8.
As Holder actually, here's the last chance opportunity. Here's Newth, but Struman's gonna get there in time. Heelan's gonna have it, and that is the game. Kearney gets a 4-1 victory here against Holdrege as they come up with a victory right after their GNAC conference tournament. We'll take a quick break for the post-game show. We'll come back with stats, some scores around the state, and get you on your way. Again, Kearney wins it 4-1. We'll take a quick break, come back with post-game show here. You're watching live on BSN. Welcome back to Kearney for the post-game show as the girls pick up a 4-1 victory over the Holdrege Dusters tonight. Let's get you some stats. First, we'll start with the Bearcats. They got 23 shots on goal. They create a lot of offensive chances. They also had about 5 corner kicks. They scored on one of them off a rebound by one of Alexis Mishu's 3 goals. Let's say we had about 4 or 5 goaltender saves for Heelan, and for the goals, a hat trick for Alexis Mishu coming in at the 19th, 20th, and 51st minute. And also putting in the back of net was Ashley Ringline coming at the 61st minute as well. So the offense aplenty for the Bearcats here tonight.
Holdrege, based on those stats, I think you got they struggle a little bit, ended up with about 5 shots on goal. Some of those kind of rushes on the keeper there at the end. 1 corner kick. Keeper had a pretty good night. 19 saves total. I know she let 4 in, but we peppered the net quite a bit, so she did a pretty good job. And with 2 fouls, their goal was scored at the 55th minute by Claire Nelson. Our center back just got a little separated, and she used her speed. Ball was sent in front of her. She ran onto it, and it had a nice finish. So good for her. I mean, it was a really good solid soccer play. But we were better tonight. Kearney was a little stronger tonight. Dominated possession, dominated shots. Weren't threatened a whole lot.
And so as we look from some scores from around the state, so looks like in boys soccer, Omaha South leads Benson 7-0. Also around kind of a minor upset, Lincoln Southeast beating Norfolk 2-1. As Robert mentioned during the break, that was a little minor upset.
Yeah. Norfolk has been playing better. Had a good conference tournament, had a great game against us. Southeast been struggling a little bit. That's going to be a lift for them as we play them on Saturday. It's something for us to pay attention to and know that they're coming in on a little bit of a high there from beating Norfolk.
And as we scroll through the other scores, of course, Omaha Marion losing, the number 1 team in the state, losing to number 2 Millard West tonight, 3-1 in Marion. So that's an upset as well. And as we keep scrolling through here, it doesn't look like many other notable scores golf-wise throughout the state. Of course, that big one, Millard West beating Omaha Marion 3-1.
It wasn't an incredibly busy night in high school soccer. Thursday, you'll be chasing a lot of scores. Yeah, you'll be chasing a lot of scores. Not just ours, but a lot of teams playing on Thursday.
And here's the score at Grand Island, who the Bearcats will play on Thursday, beating Columbus 2-0. And over there, it looks like they were in Columbus, so a big victory there for the Islanders. A tune-up to Thursday's game of conference champions. Again, the girls will play at 5:15. Boys will follow at around 7. We will have that here on Strive TV. Up next, of course, after Thursday for the Bearcats, they will go to the Lincoln Southeast Invite. We are not confirmed on the teams competing against Kearney for the girls' side at that invite. For Holdrege, they will go to the Central Conference Tournament, and then they will play host to York and Kearney Catholic. And so as we wrap it up here, Robert, what are your final thoughts on tonight's game?
Kearney High did what they had to do. Came off a mixed GNAC with the opening round loss, but then 2 victories. Holdrege is a team that they should beat. They showed up. Everybody stayed healthy. They played the way they should against Holdrege, set themselves up for a good, solid game against Grand Island and a good tournament this weekend. No worries. I think Coach Anderson might be a little disappointed at the goal they gave up. She'll shore that up. The offense was good. A lot of push, a lot of possession against Holdrege, and that's what you expect, and that's what happened. You hate to have the opposite happen when you expect to control a game, and she did. So I think overall she'll be pretty happy with that.
So the Bearcats move to 6-4, and Holdrege moves to 4-4 on the season. That's going to wrap up our post-game show. Just again, one more reminder, 5:15, the girls' game for Kearney and Grand Island and the Battle of Conference Champions. The boys at 7 on Thursday. We will have it here on Strive TV. Once again, from our cameraman, Cannon Rath, my color man, Robert Mishu, I'm Jeff Ekstrom. Thank you for joining us, everyone, and good night.